and we have a very special guest with us to talk more about St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. One of my good friends, Brian Bogart's in. His daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. And Brian, thank you for coming on the video with us.
Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what led up to her diagnosis. What was going on in your life?
Well, we were very busy. It's toward the end of school. We had the 5 younger kids all signed up playing ball on 3 different teams. Kids were taking end of the course tests for the end of school, including Mandy. And it was just a real busy time. Everybody's anticipating having a good summer and
doing life.
Doing a lot of things, playing on the lake a lot, doing things like that.
What happened? You started to suspect something was wrong.
Well, Mandy she was running a little fever. She was having some flu-like symptoms, and they hung around for a while. And so we finally got her into it. We were looking around for pediatricians and tried to get one. Finally got one that would see her up there, and took her in, and this one pediatrician looked at her and said, it's leftover flu stuff. She probably will be fine. It may be a bacterial infection. We're going to go ahead and give her a Z-Pack, send her home. And they did. And, it knocked the fever down for a day or two, but then it came right back. And she was just really, really drained. She'd take a test at school, and we'd go pick her up as soon as she'd finish her test. And she just had no color to her. And so, it kept rocking on, and she wasn't getting any better after the Z-Pack, so well, let's just go ahead and take her to my doctor there, and at least he can point us in the right direction, maybe, even though he's not a pediatrician, he's just family practice. Get him in there, and he starts examining her. I think they took x-rays first, and he said she had bilateral pneumonia, and so they started doing blood work, and it was probably, a couple hours after they took the blood, and they come back with the diagnosis that they were about 90% sure she had cancer, but they said her blood counts were so low, they wanted to load her in an ambulance and take her to Little Rock.
That's got to have hit you pretty hard as a parent.
I was actually standing in school in front of the desk picking up the twins from school when Heather called and told me. Sorry.
So what starts going through your...
Well, you're thinking, no, it can't happen to us. Your kids are supposed to be dealing with that with you, not the other way around. So, it's kind of tough.
We had a phone call. You had heard us do a radiothon a few times about St. Jude, and you had some questions about the hospital.
Yeah.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I called you because I was trying to. We were trying to decide whether or not we were going to ask the doctor there, because he had said that was an option if that he could make a referral. And so I called you to see what you thought about it, whether we should go for it or not.
We decided on St. Jude.
Yep.
And you were on the road.
Well, the doctor made the referral, and it was, I think he called, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. St. Jude's called Heather. She was down there at Little Rock Children's Hospital with me. And she called me and said, St. Jude said they wanted her, that they want her tonight. So I was farming out kids to everybody in the area. We had people from the church and stuff that were taking the younger ones, and they took them to school, ball games, and everything while I was gone. But I was loaded up within an hour or two and went to Little Rock, picked them up, and it was about 1:30 when we got to St. Jude's that night. And shoot, you're in a different place when you pull up the guard shack, and he says, who we got here? And I told him who it was, and he says, we've been waiting on her. Like, huh?
And they were waiting.
They were.
There were people right there at the door to meet you.
They sent the charge nurse. She came down with a wheelchair and met us at the truck and got her.
We're talking with Brian Bogart about his experience and with Mandy's experience with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and why it's important that we continue the great work of this hospital. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about more of that experience.